Fellow Biafrans, it is another day of redemption. Every Igbo man is standing trial with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in court. I repeat, every Igbo man is standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today, 18th June 2025. Now, the United States sent representatives, US officials, came to court today to observe the ongoing persecution of Biafra leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There are many things that the media is not telling us. There are many things that the Nigerian government is hiding from the world. Biafra is a nation. Biafra is recognized all over the world. There was a country by Chinua Achebe. That means the country Biafra once existed. Now, looking at the case today, you see that the eyes of the whole world is on Nigeria. Looking at the current case today, the eyes of Britain, the eyes of United States, they are all on Nigeria. The Nigerian government is looking for different ways to pin Nnamdi Kanu to a crime. They are looking for different evidences to make sure that they hold Nnamdi Kanu and prove that he's guilty. But yet, Nnamdi Kanu keeps defeating them in the court of law. Till today, the Nigerian government has not been able to prove how they took Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya into Nigeria. Now, breaking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court proceedings kicks off at the Federal High Court in Abuja as US officials from the National Center for State are also in the courtroom for observation. I told you once that there will be a surprise. If you are going to the market, if you are going to the farm, you don't take one route. Nnamdi Kanu has said that he will defeat the Nigerian government at their own court. Now, what is the advantage of Nnamdi Kanu facing trial in Nigeria? What is the advantage? One, it draws the attention of the whole world to what is happening in Nigeria today. Look at the Benue killings. There was a statement from the White House on Benue killings. Now, looking at the Fulani agenda, the Janjaweed, Fulani jihadist agenda, it is clear that the Fulani themselves are responsible for what is going on in Biafra land today. I'm telling you, a Southerner, careless whether Biafra is going, but a Northern Fulani would never want Nigeria to disintegrate. So whatever I see happening today, the Fulani has an orchestration that wants to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is kept in custody. People ask these questions. Why is it that a Tinubu is afraid to why is that Tinubu is not releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why? What is stopping President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Even if Buhari could not convict him, he got a judgment whereby still the federal government had to rearrange the case to try him again. It is because of the Fulani factor. Fulani factor. No matter the kind of allegation put on Nnamdi Kanu, he is going to defeat the Nigerian government at the court. That is a fact. This is not emotions. That is a fact. The Nigerian judicial system is weak. They don't have what it takes to try Nnamdi Kanu as it is. If they are going to take any decision, the only decision they can take is that they can go against international treaties, organizations, Human Rights Council, and whatever. That's why it is difficult for them to nail a Nnamdi Kanu. The United States being in court today shows that there is a country that will rise from the ashes, and that country will be Biafra. Biafra will lead to the liberation of West Africa and hence Africa. I tell you, what is going to happen will shock the world. Coming from Biafra, what is going to happen will shock the world. Now take a look at what is happening in Sabotage in Finland. Look at how the processes are going. Look at the attention it is gathering. One very important thing about Radio Biafra is that it creates awareness. People are conscious about what is going on in Nigeria. People are conscious about what is going on in Biafra land. The Nigerian government would do anything to make sure that they stop Biafra from being realized. And they will fail at it. You know why? The Nigerian project is not a project that is supported by the people. It's a project of the imperialists. It's a project of Britain. It's a project of the West to keep Nigeria, giant of Africa, in quote, down, put them in bondage. If you have a Yoruba nation, if you have a Biafra nation, don't you think that these guys will work? These guys will be sophisticated in their economy, in their technology, in their education, and what have you. The 1967 Biafra Civil War, Nigeria Biafra Civil War, is the genesis of the whole issue with Nigeria. Now, when you look at the Nnamdi Kanu prosecution in court today, you see that the DSS is trying to get witnesses to sabotage the IPOB and nail an allegation on Nnamdi Kanu. Some persons are being brought to the court to say this Nnamdi Kanu sent us to do this, we are told to do this and that. The Tinubu administration is trying so hard to make sure that he nails Nnamdi Kanu. There's something he wants to use people that can sabotage the IPOB, the Biafra agitation, use Igbo people, yes, Igbo people, that can sabotage the agitation and nail Nnamdi Kanu with a confession. So some of these guys have said, Nnamdi Kanu sent us to attack Owerri prison, Nnamdi Kanu sent us to attack police officers, Nnamdi Kanu sent us to attack this, to kill people, 1,000 people, and that. This is the stance of the federal government. Now, how would the government prove beyond reasonable doubt that Nnamdi Kanu was responsible for the carnage happening in Nigeria today? There is no Nnamdi Kanu, there is no IPOB. Look at what's happening in Enugu State. There's no Nnamdi Kanu, there's no IPOB. Look at what happened just recently in Abia State. Look at what happened in Imo State. There's no Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu created ESN. And that ESN was meant to protect Biafrans, Igbo people, from the onslaught of the Fulani. Nnamdi Kanu has been crying about the Fulani agenda ever since. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu visiting Benue State today is because of the Fulani agenda. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu winning the elections is because of the large support of the Northerners, Fulani-led Northern Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu not being able to do anything today is because of the influence of the Fulani, being afraid of what the Fulani can do. Yes, that is how powerful the Fulani is. That is why we are saying that all these gimmicks, the strategy by the government wanting to nail Nnamdi Kanu is a Fulani tactic. Take Fulani out of the equation, you will see that Nnamdi Kanu will be released the next minute. But what can we say? What can we do? We are in a system whereby the Fulani is a willing tool. They have become a willing tool by the British, the imperialists, to destabilize Nigeria. Some will ask the question, how is the Fulani doing what they are doing? How is the Fulani? In a country that has the president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, you see bandits. They caught some Oyibos with some bandits. You know about USAID, the revelations that is being used to fund operations in Nigeria, human rights operation, whatever, what have you. We know how the CIA operates. Look at Syria. Syria's president was once an Al-Qaeda leader who the United States tagged as a terrorist. He was declared wanted by the United States. But you see France and US going to shake hands with somebody they declared some years ago that is a terrorist. It tells you a lot about how the government of the day is being influenced by Britain using Fulani. Fulani is not indigenous to Nigeria. Fulani does not have any ancestral home in Nigeria. Fulani cannot point, this is our father's house, here and there. That's why they go about trying to grab land grabbers, take over people's land and kill them and occupy their lands. And from settlers, they call themselves indigenes. They change the name of the community. They rewrite history. If you look at Google today, go to Google. Uthman Danfodio died in Benue State. But you see, just like AI or Grok or Perplexity or Google or these search engines whereby if you want to look for information, you search. It is the information that we supply to Google that Google can use. Yes. It is what we give to Google that Google can look and say, this is. Google cannot work in absentia without anything. Google cannot work without a substance. There must be an available information that Google will use as evidence when you ask Google a question. So these Fulanis are going to edit the history of the Fulani in Nigeria. When you go to Google, you look at last edited 1 hour ago. They are always updating, and they remove vital information. Like I said, the Fulani goes to a place. The place has a name, but they will chase away the people out from that area, rename that place, and they will go on social media and call that and put that information on the social media space. So if you're asking who owns this place, you go to Google. Google will now show you what the Fulanis, how they are changing history. So this is the handiwork of the Fulani. They have vowed that they will dip the Quran in the Atlantic Ocean. And when you have the Atlantic Ocean, it is in Southwest. They have something in common with the Southwest, which is religion. They will use religion, enter the Southwest, and they can do and undo. This is the handiwork of the Fulani. Many people are being brought into court today. The one that pay me the most is that Igbos are being used against Igbos in this agitation. Look at the DOS. DOS, look at how, before the eyes of DOS, Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. For 4 or 5 days, the DOS could not tell anybody the whereabouts of Nnamdi Kanu. Uchemefo, we know about Uchemefo. Igbos are the ones sabotaging the same agitation. Just look at the Samonekpa, the autopilot. Look at Ngozi Orabueze, and look at Oge Nkere. Just within days of Samonekpa being arrested by Finland government. So the thing that pains me the most is that we Igbos are the ones that are being used to sabotage the agitation. When you look at those testifying, they are likely to be Igbos. There's one guy they call Onyami. Onyami is coming to testify that Nnamdi Kanu directed us to go and attack this place. Told us to attack that place, Nnamdi Kanu. They first tried to connect Nnamdi Kanu to Samonekpa. They failed. They connected Nnamdi Kanu to NSAS killings. They failed. They connected him to attacking police officers and blah, blah, blah in the southeast. They failed. But this one, now they are taking people from the southeast to testify against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is winning all the way. Looking at it critically, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Nigerian government will have no choice than to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because I don't see them winning any part of this. I don't see. He has spent 5 years going and in the custody of the DSS, or however, where he's been incarcerated. He has spent 5 years. And that 5 years is enough for him. Whatever, see, they said he's in possession of some materials that is causing chaos, terrorism in the southeast. He used his transmitter and radio Biafra, and he has caused a lot of, like, the killings going on. It is his broadcast that caused it. The sit at home that has crippled the economy of Southeast, it is his broadcast that caused it. So these are the things that they want to nail him on, Abi. How would we connect what is happening today, and what's happening with Nnamdi Kanu? Was there not a problem before Nnamdi Kanu rose up to the occasion? That's the question. Was there not a problem before Nnamdi Kanu rose up to the occasion? If we want to tell ourselves the truth, Nnamdi Kanu was once a lover of Nigeria, wanting good for Nigeria. And too early he saw that this thing will not work. Fighting for Nigeria, Nigeria is not the root cause. The root cause of the problem is what we need to deal with. At a point, Nnamdi Kanu looked at it critically from that end. Then he now switched to, we want freedom. We want to get out of this contraption. Look at Nigerians today. Nigerians are caged. Nigerians don't have a voice. It's hard for you to say when they come and protest. The people protesting in Nigeria today are controlled by the government. The government controls the media narrative. The government controls the activism. The government is controlling even the security. The government cannot tell us that they are not aware of the activities of the Fulani, or they don't get intelligence report of the Fulani. They can't tell anybody. They can't tell us that they don't know the root cause of the insecurity. They can't tell us that it is not a deliberate thing that Igbos are being marginalized in Nigeria. They can't tell us that. They can't tell us that they are not part of the problem. They can't tell us that there's an unforeseen power, an unforeseen force behind the background that is remote controlling the leadership of Nigeria. They cannot tell us that we are independent. They cannot tell us. All the things Nnamdi Kanu said, the truth he put out from his mouth is what is making the Nigerian government angry. If you stand up and say you want to liberate your people, you have become a dangerous person. You have become a terrorist. You have become a treasonable fellow. Now, terrorists in northern Nigeria become repentant and they are brought back into the system and they join the army. Just a revelation by an indigene in Benue State who said that the army were part of those that trained the people that came to kill over 200 persons. The Nigerian army. Look at the logic. Boko Haram, you catch Boko Haram, you pardon them, you pay them, you give them food, give them clothes. Then you enlist them into the army. The Boko Haram in turn now go and start training their brothers, giving them the tactic they got from the Nigerian army. Even the Boko Haram self go become lieutenant, captain, and general, and will be in charge of troops, sabotaging the efforts of soldiers. And the same Nigerian government will tell you that they don't know what is going on. My brother, you see what Tinubu is going to do in Benue State? I don't think he has any capacity to stop anything that's going on in Benue State. We are just deceiving ourselves. The only thing we can tell ourselves is that let Nnamdi Kanu go, let Biafra go. Let Nnamdi Kanu go, let Biafra go. Let my people go. But one advice to the DSS and whoever, you people should follow the law. Follow the due process. Nothing should happen to Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing should happen to Nnamdi Kanu. Like I started, we Igbos, we are in trial in Nigeria. Look at every sector of the society. We are being rejected. We are in trial in Nigeria because we demanded for freedom. We are in trial with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If anything happens to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it has happened to us, Igbo people. That is the plain truth. If you kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you have killed the Igbo nation. If you poison Nnamdi Kanu, you have poisoned the Igbo nation. So nothing should happen to Nnamdi Kanu. He is not guilty of any offense. You have to release him. Let him go and set his people free. We know that Ohaneze is not happy with the progress of things going on in the court today. We know that the governors, they are not happy with Biafra. They are not happy with the development going on today. They are not happy with the recognition given by US. We know that the governors are not happy. Politicians in the Southeast are not happy because of what they are gaining, what they are benefiting from the current status quo. We know these are efulefus, these are saboteurs. But that will not stop Biafra from not coming into reality. I told you, the world recognized Biafra. United States recognized Biafra. It is not this one that the Fulani is talking to. Fulani are talking their own. Fulani are on their own. Nigeria, something will happen to Nigeria. Something will happen in Nigeria that it will shock the whole world. I'm telling you, it's going to shock the whole world. Nnamdi Kanu, he's a prophet. He has predicted a lot of things. This is happening in Benue State. He has talked about it. How, like, the plan of Fulani, he exposed it. He exposed the plan of the Fulani. That's why Fulani took all the money they could take. They had to disobey international rule. They had to do all they can to spend money to make sure that they hold Nnamdi Kanu down. The Fulani. They did all they can to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu must be brought to Nigeria by all means. Because the guy is exposing, speaking the truth about the Fulani. Nigerians are just there, What did they know? Nigerians, what do they know? Nigerians are helpless. Don't you know Nigerians are helpless? Even there's no opposition, a supposed democracy, no opposition. People can't come out to speak. You can't come out to ask for your right. Are you better than a person who professes to be a Biafra? As a Nigerian, is your life better than someone who is saying that I must be free? I don't be part of this cage. I don't be part of this slavery. I must be free. What is the difference between a Nigerian and a Biafra? A Biafran can come out and beat his chest and say, I don't be part of this system. I want Biafra. Can a Nigerian do the same to his local government chairman? You that are saying, can you go and protest that your local government chairman is not doing road? Carry placard and go and protest. You see, the same system will be threatening you. See, Nnamdi Kanu has paid a lot of price. He has paid a lot of price. He's one man I respect, one Igbo man I respect. He's a man of the people. The more reasons why the so-called elected officials or political officers in the southeast doesn't want him to come outside, because if this man come outside, his word becomes law. I'm telling you, his word becomes law, because he speaks the heart of the people. He touches the aspiration of the people. The people have been marginalized for a very long time and they are seeking for redemption. This is another day of redemption. I'm telling you, this is another day that we'll witness. We'll see, in our lifetime, we'll witness Biafra. That is sure. In our lifetime. You might not believe it, but you'll see it before your two eyes. In our lifetime, we'll witness Biafra. Whatever that is being planned against the realization of Biafra, my brother, because Nigeria is not sustainable anymore. You think Nigeria is sustainable? Okay. Because people think that Nigeria can get better. When we were young, we had some pastors telling us, Opportunity 2000, I remember, Opportunity 2000, a program, Nigeria will get better by 2000. I was a toddler then. Because I saw the handbill at the point in time where our pastors were telling us that 2020, Nigeria will get better. 20 years after, from 2000, 2020, the same pastor is telling us that Nigeria will get better. Now it's 2025. Then they were saying Opportunity 2000, Nigeria will be better by then. This and this and that. That time is even better than now that we are. There has never been any improvement the preceding day or preceding week, month or year. Religion is one of our biggest problems in Nigeria. Religion. It makes us look stupid and lower our guard. It makes us look stupid. As I speak, Nnamdi Kanu is going to be victorious. Whether heaven likes it or not. We are going to witness Biafra in our time.